Hello YouTubers, this is Tony, and today we're going to show you the location of and how to replace your vapor purge valve on your 2017 Hyundai Elantra 2.0 liter motor. The purge valve is located on the front of the vehicle on the engine. You'll basically need a pair of needle nose pliers to remove two hose clamps, one here and one there. And then there may be one or two other hose clamps that you may need to remove to gain better access to the purge valve. It's very important to take note as to how the purge valve goes in. You want to make sure you put the purge valve back in the same way you took it out. I purchased this purge valve from rockauto.com. Not really sure what I was charged for it, but I'm sure it was way cheaper than what the dealership charges. There is the part number from rockauto.com. And a lot of people are confused about purge valves and vapor canister valves. The purge valve goes on the front of the engine. The vapor vent valve goes on the rear of the car, and it sits next to the gas tank on pretty much every vehicle. So I hope that clears up some mysteries for you guys. Again, the purge valve goes on the front of the vehicle, on the engine compartment, and the vent valve goes on the rear of the car. So let's get started. Okay guys, we're on the engine right now, in the engine compartment. And if you'll take this breather hose here and follow it, just move that to the side. There's your purge valve. Pretty much easy to get to. What I recommend that you do first is disconnect this hose clamp with your needle nose pliers. So you want to take your needle nose pliers, disconnect this hose clamp, slide it back, and you want to pull that tube off and set it to the side. And to get the purge valve loose, here is another clamp down there. You want to clamp that and pull your clamp back out the way and pull that hose off of the purge valve. You want to take this electrical connector here for the purge valve, disconnect that. You simply take this tab here and push it down and pull the connector away from the purge valve. And there is one more clamp down there somewhere. I see it. So what you want to do is take your needle nose pliers. Oops, if I can get that clamp to turn more in this direction so that I can get to it. Guys, I'm going to need both hands. I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. Here's my old purge valve. Here's my new purge valve. These are typically easy to get off, guys. The only problem is I had to make an adjustment to this clamp right here so that it was in a position for me to grab it with the needle nose pliers. So word of advice to you, when you go to reinstall your purge valve, you want to make sure that clamp is turned around in a position where you can get to it and move it back up to secure the hose onto the purge valve. So basically, it's pretty easy to put this stuff back in. You basically want to reinsert your purge valve. And I'm working with one hand, guys, so bear with me. You want to reinsert your purge valve back into that particular tube. And before you put this tube back on, my advice to you is to secure this clamp first. So I'm going to put the phone down while I do that, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, as you see, I made sure that the hose is securely wrapped around the purge valve. I put the clamp back on. So now we're ready to reinstall. Here's my long pointer so my hands aren't in the way. We're ready to reinstall this particular hose. And that hose will be this hose here. To mount the purge valve back on, guys, the purge valve just basically slides on a little holder, so it's pretty easy. There's your holder. You basically just take your purge valve, stick it back on there, just push it down. Push it down until it's secure, for the most part. And there you are. It's sitting on its housing again. So the next thing you want to do is hook up this tube here. But again, make sure your clamps are in a position where you can put them on with no problem. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I've reconnected this emissions hose. The emissions hose at the bottom, I made sure the clamps were secure. The next thing you want to do is reinsert your electrical connector. Just make sure all of your hoses are back in where you removed them from. You want to then reconnect this breather hose. And you want to take your clamp, make sure that's back down and in the right place. And then for the most part, you're pretty much done and you have replaced your purge valve on your 2017 Hyundai Elantra. If you had code P0442, I believe it is, that told you that you had a leak or purge valve problem, you will need to reset the check engine light on your vehicle. With a check engine light tool, if you do not have such a tool, you can simply disconnect the negative side battery terminal on your vehicle for about 25 minutes and then reconnect it, and that will automatically reset your check engine light and you should be able to drive with no problems at all. So again, let's cover what I did to get this stuff out, guys. Again, the purge valve is located on top of the engine. Just come to this breather hose here, follow it, follow this line here, move it to the side, and there's your purge valve. You want to disconnect this clamp, remove this hose. You then want to disconnect that clamp, pull that hose off. You want to disconnect the clamp on the bottom down here, remove that hose. You want to disconnect the electrical connector there, and then you can simply slide your purge valve off of its holder. And remember, everything you did to remove it just goes back in the reverse order. And for the most part, you're pretty much done. Just start your car and you should be ready to drive. Again, if you replace the purge valve because of a check engine light, you will need to reset your check engine light, either with a handheld tool or by disconnecting the negative side battery terminal for about 25 minutes if you do not have such a tool. I hope the video helps you. If you have any questions, please send me a message, and thanks for watching.